to MediaMix, where we quench all of your media thirsts. My name's Nick, and today we've got Xavier, Vicky, Jack,
What up?
Nick,
What up?
and
Both Nicks.
I'm also Nick. So
Don't get confused.
Don't get confused. So
we're
we're going
both
to be
named
starting
Nick.
off today with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, a wonderful TV series.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Disney Plus TV series. It's not really on TV though, you would say, because it's not a streaming service. So is it technically on TV or is it on your phone or your tablet? Or your
It's
computer?
dependent on whatever you watch it on. So
There's some debate on what
What is
platform
streaming
is
service?
this?
Is it TV or is it?
It's
phone?
a streaming service. It's on Disney Plus. Technically, it's a television show.
well, whatever you
enough.
want to call it, it's Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So-
Before we get into anything, how are you guys doing this week? You guys doing all right?
This is MediaMix, not how we're doing this week, bro.
Fuck you guys. I don't give a shit.
A daily update.
Fine.
I thought maybe people would want to get the scoop on how we're all doing, but fuck it.
So
Bro, put the gummy bears down.
Bro, stop eating
Oh
those.
my god.
who wants to start off?
Well, I don't know if we wanted to do by the episode, or just like an overall,
That's me.
and then it, like no spoilers kind of thing at first. Kind of run
Okay,
down.
so rundown. You got Bucky Barnes and Sam who go after terrorists,
The Flag
or
Smashers.
flag smashers, whatever you want to call them.
What are their goals? They're to get rid of the borders, but like, how are they doing that? Why?
I think are they kind of like globalists? Is there like one nation, one people?
But how are they doing
Yeah.
that? How are they
By-
achieving that?
Making terrorist attacks.
Well, they're trying to
Um,
they're trying to stop the people who are wanted to like in the very last episode, the people in that room, they wanted to make the borders, right? They wanted to like kick people out, kick so-called like immigrants out, and then like make actual borders or something like that.
And
And
they thought they could achieve that by, like,
by like
killing
voting on
people?
it. Well, I mean, they were voting on it, but then they want the Flag Smashers wanted to go in and stop them. So they were like, all right, let's go. Let's just go. Well, I don't think their initial goal was to kill them. They're gonna take them hostage and you like use them as a negotiation point. But then that never happens. So
So the people we're
They kinda-
talking about, is this the GRC or is this just like the Board of Senates that we saw at like the last episode?
I thought it was the GRC.
Yeah,
That's
that's
their
what
name,
I was
right?
thinking.
Well, either way, I will say the entire time I like kind of forgot what their whole purpose was. I don't know if that's like
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So like I knew Xavier probably had the same issue because I'm just sitting there and I'm watching and I'm like, all I'm getting from this is they just kind of want to like blow crap up because they're mad because everybody came back
and they're
it used
taking
to
their
be
homes
good.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're like rebels, but the same actress that plays as like the main girl, right?
Yeah, wasn't
Really?
she was in
Solo.
Solo. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, I was
That's also a
crazy.
rebel.
Oh, she was in that new Han Solo movie?
Yeah, she was the.
I never saw that.
She was the
Yeah, it's like
like random
5 years old.
person who was like, "Oh, we need your help because some BS Star Wars reason,
Yeah.
copy paste, you
Something
know."
like that. Yeah. But yeah, that's who she is. But I liked her character honestly in the whole series. I mean,
It kind of felt forced, like they wanted us to like her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But at the
And-
same time, they forced us to hate John Walker.
I love John Walker.
You did?
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah, I thought he was. Well, okay.
I want to
so
see
in the-
more of him.
In the beginning, he was annoying, but at the end, they reveal him as his new role.
I
But
liked it when he winked at the camera in the first episode.
does he actually?
Yeah, I bet you liked it when you winked.
As far,
John Walker.
first, it was the hot, sweaty man in John Wick, and now it's this.
Now it's John Walker.
Do you have a thing for Johns or something?
No.
All right.
I'm gonna change my name to John.
John's watching in the audience. Don't get any ideas.
Well, either way, it was kind of.
You can message him at
Please don't.
We're gonna make a grinder account for you.
No.
I'm gonna wake. You're gonna.
Hot
I'm only
steamy
into
John's
men only.
only.
And hot steamy men.
In any case, I'm gonna drag that off of that. So I think what the previous show with WandaVision, right? I thought it was okay. I did enjoy it, but after watching this, I feel like it was subpar. I enjoyed this a lot more because
Oh,
despite
yeah.
there being magic, with Marvel, right? They started with a lot of grounded stuff, you know, having Avengers, Captain America, Iron Man, right?
Right.
And then they moved on to magic and, you know, galaxy stuff, right? You know, Guardians of the Galaxy,
Right.
space stuff, and which was fantastic. But now I want the grounded stuff. I want it to kind of go back from like going from like Thanos to crazy stuff to now just like, all right, here's some basic low level stuff, right?
Yeah,
here's
yeah,
like
yeah.
a small terrorist. We can deal with like the minor things again.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Die Hard, but with a guy in the Falcon suit.
In what way is it like Die Hard?
In no way.
They're both a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, anyways, you guys want to start with like the first episode, or do you guys want to just go like dive in like the
Guess
whole?
we can
Well, it
start
looked
with
like
the
we were
first
kind of like
episode.
diving into it. I mean, as far as the first, I mean, I guess we can kind of do it by episode, but I mean, the only spoilers I could say for the first episode is obviously the ending of it, which we already kind of, I guess, talked about a little bit.
Right.
But that was the only moment that I felt like I hated John Walker, and
Yeah.
not even because of John Walker, but just it felt. So the scene in question, the ending, right, is when showing him as the new Captain America,
Yeah.
and he smiles and waves, right?
Right.
And it made me kind of feel sick inside a little bit, and you know, just like cringe, like it hurt, right? Kind of,
Yeah.
it's replacing this person, Steve, whatever, right? And then until afterwards, after that episode, after that moment, they grew on me. I liked him as Captain America. I liked him as a character. Everything about him.
Yeah. That's because, like, as the episodes go on, you get to know more about this John Walker guy. And at the end of episode 1, it's just like, who the fuck is this guy? It's some random dude in Captain America's suit, you know?
I did like the suit though.
Yeah, the suit looks pretty cool, yeah.
I feel like he was trying too hard though. If he hadn't tried to be so like upfront and trying to be like, oh yeah, I live up to this name. I'm as good as him.
I think
If
that's
he-
all part of his character.
Yeah,
Like,
but I feel like he, I don't know. I didn't like him. I feel like it was too forceful the way they were trying to make it. I probably would have liked it better if he was like not as upfront, too like as forceful, like forcing his way into the Captain American name.
It
again,
was.
I think that's all part of his character because he, like, understanding his character, he knows he has a lot of like expectations to meet.
Yeah.
Trying to be Captain America, so there is that awkward feeling you get just seeing this guy trying to fill those shoes. Because as the viewer, we know there's no way he can do that. Nobody could fill Steve Rogers'
yeah.
shoes because he did so much. But yeah, honestly, as far as his character goes, I like him, you know. But the first episode, yeah, it was awkward seeing like a new guy be Captain America. You know, he's not this super amazing leader that makes all the right decisions despite what his like sidekick says. You know,
Right.
he's flawed. You know, and we see that especially when like he makes the mistake of committing murder in like broad daylight. You know,
To be
Yeah.
fair, the other characters probably have committed murder on several counts. I'll say this is the only
I wouldn't say
time
Captain America
probably has caused
He's
major
probably
brain
killed,
damage.
like, people or committed brain damage, but he didn't like beat a guy while he was down. Just like thrust his shield into
Yeah,
his chest cavity.
there's a difference there. I mean,
That's like cold-blooded murder.
I guess, but anybody could be like, "Hey, stop! Don't kill me!" And at that point, right? So they, you know, Falcon, Captain America, probably all killed the people that they did probably kill way before they got a chance to say, "Don't kill me."
Yeah.
So
Like back when he was fighting Hydra and he ran into some Hydra soldier and bashed him with his shield and sent him flying and he
dead.
cracked his skull open and died. Like he wasn't just like, yeah, I did that on purpose. I totally meant to kill him.
I mean, they knew what happened when they tried to go up against Steve Rogers, and I don't know. I feel like all the people that Steve would fight, you know, they wouldn't be like on the ground like, please don't kill me. Like they'd
Because
be
they would already be dead or knocked out.
Oh no,
Yeah.
they'd be fighting until the end. That's what it was. I don't know. That's just the way I saw it. Like they'd just be fighting or whatever, and then he would come up and hit him, and they'd be gone or whatever.
Done.
But with
There
John,
wasn't enough
with John
time.
Walker, this man was just running away the whole time. He wasn't even fighting.
And I agree. But you gotta assume that there's been moments similar to that. Not exactly like that, obviously, because Bucky or the Falcon, I guess, Sam, didn't die in front of him. So maybe Steve would have cracked the same way.
Yeah, that's
But,
a reasonable
we've
assumption.
kind of seen Steve crack kind of like that before. Like if you go back to Captain America: The First Avenger, when his scientist friend, he's like,
Yeah, and he
good-
chased
a
that
good
guy
man
down.
matters, right? He chased that guy down, but he didn't beat him to a bloody pulp.
Because he
kill
got
him.
away.
Well, the guy he did still die because he had cyanide, but Captain America didn't kill him. He kind of just like chased him
He
down.
killed
and was like,
himself.
Who the hell are you? What do you work for? And the guy was like,
It wasn't really rage though. I don't know. The issue with a lot of Falcon and Winter Soldier is that when you compare it to the last series that Marvel just had, which was WandaVision, you had, what was it, 9 episodes of
Yeah.
WandaVision? You
Yeah.
have like an extra 3 episodes.
Well, WandaVision
these
was
episodes-
also shorter.
Yeah.
Granted, but at the same time, it felt kind of rushed.
Mhm.
And it was just kind of like the first episode is an introduction
train.
to the whole story, and you're introduced to the Flag Smashers and all this stuff. But it's just kind of like, I don't know, when I finished watching the series, I kind of left just open, because Winter Soldier is my favorite movie out of all of the Marvel,
Captain
because
America,
it's
Winter
just
Soldier?
yeah, no, it's an incredible movie. Because like Xavier said, it's grounded, and you can actually feel like it's something that is almost achievable, or not achievable, but like you can actually see it happening. Like I'm not gonna expect some large purple man walking into my house and snapping away my dog.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just one of those.
Listeners need WD-40.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Shout out to the
That was,
chair.
Shout out to WD-40.
Yeah.
Call me. But
I don't know if that was kind of solid. All right, we're just gonna ignore that part.
Anyway. it was very rushed, and it was just like I wanted to watch Bucky actually, like, kick ass. But the entire time he just kind of got his ass kicked.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, whenever he's like, oh, he's getting his ass kicked, why don't we throw in some random side character? Oh, John Walker. Or we throw in, Falcon, because, he immediately just kicked the ass of literally everybody else. So it was just kind of like...
But we knew the story wasn't about Bucky.
No, it was about the retirement of Captain America, and honestly the hardships of
It was Sam's story.
yeah,
essentially.
Sam trying to own up, because that was Steve's whole job, or his whole purpose was to make him the next
So,
Captain America.
on a side note, where do you guys think Captain America is?
He's dead.
Yeah, I assume he's dead.
I don't know, because he came back in that teleporter at the end of
And then he
Infinity War.
like
And then
turned-
it's just
didn't he
like-
turned to dust.
He's
or
on
some
the
shit?
moon.
He didn't turn to dust.
He had
He
like a
was
Jedi
old.
death.
I mean, yeah, he was old, but he didn't look like he was about to fall over the next second.
No,
I mean, this takes place, I think I heard, like 8 months after.
Yeah,
All that,
8
so-
months. The man looked, the old Steve Rogers looked like he was maybe like 80 years old or something like
A
that.
lot can happen.
Considering
I mean,
that
sure, a
Steve
lot can
Rogers-
happen, but I don't think they just like,
Considering that they talk about Steve Rogers
And what-
like in almost every episode, and he hasn't made an appearance in the show, I'm pretty sure he's dead.
well,
Guys,
well-
he's on the moon.
That's what they do. Yeah, they're like, "Yo, was he on the moon?"
What more can you really even do with the character, though?
yeah, what are you gonna have him just show up and just be like, I'm old, and then it's
Hello.
just like, because
I don't know. Give his take on whatever's going on.
I'm going blind.
But so the one guy, God, I forgot his name. The black guy who was like
Isaiah?
tortured.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I loved Isaiah's
So he was a cool
Holy
character.
shit.
Kind of wish I got to see him do other stuff besides just kind of like.
Complain.
Throwing
He,
an
like,
Altoids box
yeah.
into the wall.
Okay, so it was justified complaints, but like I kind of wanted to see him like make an appearance and like fight people. I don't know.
Or like
It
a
was-
flashback, like
Yeah, that'd been
flashback
cool.
for like 30 years ago.
I mean,
Oh,
I would
yeah.
prefer a whole like movie or like even like one episode like show kind of thing about
Yeah.
that instead of just like 15 minutes.
What's
I
his
would,
full
because it
name?
sounded like a
Isaiah?
really
Oh yeah,
interesting
wasn't he
story.
the one that ripped off Bucky's arm?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
they introduced him as like
Wait,
he
what?
was in Viet.
He's the one who ripped off Bucky's arm.
It was like in the
Yes.
Korean War or something.
They
No,
sent him after Bucky.
Yeah, he
when
didn't.
he
rip
already
off-
had,
Yeah,
a
I'm
metal
pretty sure.
arm.
No, yeah, his
Metal
arm already got ripped off.
and
like,
that was in the first
when he
movie.
fell off the train in the first Captain America. Like
Yeah.
they there was like, and I think in Winter Soldier they kind of showed like Bucky getting like dragged into the
Oh,
into,
yeah,
like, the,
okay, never
operating
mind.
room, and then like sawing off his arm, putting on a metal one.
Then what did he do?
I don't know.
No, he went. So it was like Vietnam or Korea or something. Like Bucky was in there like doing whatever he does, and then they had to send in super soldiers from America to go and stop Bucky because he was literally just kicking ass everywhere. So then they sent in him to go and stop him, Isaiah. They sent in Isaiah, and then that's when everything else happened. I thought it would have been kind of cool to have a young Isaiah flashback and like him fighting Bucky. That would have been kind of cool.
That would be awesome.
But you don't want to give us what we want.
Nobody even noticed.
I noticed.
We all noticed.
I don't know. I feel like they didn't do enough with this character, and I agree.
For Isaiah?
It was,
but maybe they have something more planned. It's because this is only 6 episodes. This is only a brief thing. This isn't a whole movie, right?
No.
I mean, well,
Yeah, but is there gonna be a season 2? You think?
I mean, I don't feel like WandaVision has the ability to have a season 2,
Yeah, that seemed
but
like
I
it
feel like
kinda
this
had,
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that I feel like they didn't give like closure to. With the, I feel bad, but the Bucky's Asian friend, the old guy,
Yeah.
and so they're like, hey, by the way, I killed your son, and they didn't show that scene play out. They just cut away from it.
Yeah, they just kind of had him
so
leave.
that was something that was weird because it was
That's something I wanted closure on.
Because
Yeah.
he walked in for one, and it was like immediately he was like, I know about your son. He's like, what happened? He's like, I killed him, and then it was just like immediate, like no sobbing, no like long. Because I feel like you could have played that scene out for at least another like minute or two, and it would have just like had a lot more emotion into it. But they were just like, nah, he's just.
And then
Since it's kind of
and then he was
shrouded
like, yeah.
in mystery because they cut away from it.
And
What
then-
do you think the old man said to him after that?
Well, because
Do you
that's
think-
what I'm like. Did he go? You know what? I'm gonna. You clearly have shown yourself to be a good person. Let me just kind of like throw that under the rug. I'm still
So you
gonna be
think
upset.
he forgave him? You think he forgave him?
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. So he could go either way, right? Or he could be like, "You killed my son. That's unexcusable." Yeah.
And also,
Right.
Bucky said like, he wasn't like, oh, like, I'm really sorry, but I was brainwashed, and I was like, I literally had no control.
But how do we
over
know
what
he
I was
didn't say
doing.
that?
Well, he was like, why? And he was like, what did he say again?
I
He's
had
like,
no
I had no
choice.
choice.
I had no choice. That made it seem like he just like did it like with full conscience.
Well, what
which
do you
obviously
do?
that's
You
not
just
the
say
case.
like, "Oh, I was brainwashed
Yes.
by the Nazis."
Yes.
And he's like, "Shut the fuck up!
Yeah,
You're lying.
but-
You're like 20." The guy probably thinks he's like
Nick.
27 years
What do
old.
you mean he's lying? He has a metal arm.
Nick, yeah, he has a metal arm, and they know Thanos exists. Like, there are things that are weird in their
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, it's not like
I mean-
get out of here. Like I don't believe that
No
for a
way.
second.
Maybe. Well, what I'm saying is, he didn't want to make any excuses. He's just like,
That
"I
wasn't
for
an
sure had no
excuse. I mean,
choice."
that's just what happened.
Like,
that's just,
I killed your son, but I didn't do it because I wanted to do it. I had no choice.
They clearly showed how Iron Man reacted, knowing full well he was under control, right? And he's a brilliant person.
Mhm.
So let
Yeah.
alone this old guy who like might
Is
just be
frail
oblivious.
and-
Yeah.
It's
So
the
do you-
creation of a villain story.
Yeah.
A villain origin story.
So yeah, Tony Stark like kind of flipped his lid when he found out.
Well, I don't think it's gonna go the same direction.
You don't. So this
I don't
guy
think he's
didn't-
gonna rip off Bucky's arm.
It's gonna be another civil war, except with the small Asian man coming
Mr.
after
Chang
him with a.
Well, they
versus
do
Winter
have-
Soldier.
I'm pretty sure they did confirm another Captain America movie.
Yeah, number 4.
So
Being written with
yeah,
obviously
but
the Falcon as
the Falcon as
Captain
Captain
Oh,
America,
okay.
and
Dude,
Bucky
I-
apparently is going to be in it too.
I loved
Bucky.
Sam's
Oh, okay.
new outfit, being Captain America.
Really?
I loved it.
Okay,
It
so
looks so cool.
that was something that was weird because my eyes got really trained to like his last outfit, and I really liked the black and red kind of look to it.
yeah, that was pretty cool.
Because it was kind of like his.
They pretty much gave him a new suit and they gave him a new one right off the back.
Yeah, so they were like, here's this new suit that we designed for him. He's got new wings and new gadgets. And they're like, yeah, and then about like 3 episodes, we're going to get just throw it away, and then you're never going to see it. And then you're going to see him for barely, I mean, it was barely like 5 minutes of screen time in it. And the other most of that screen time was him in his speech in the last like few.
I wouldn't say
Yeah.
it's like 5 minutes of screen time.
Okay, well, maybe not. Maybe
It was a whole like he was fighting in the building, and then he was chasing the helicopter,
right.
and then after that he was lifting the truck up with all the senators.
Yeah, and then
so
he was
they
on
got
TV.
safety, and then he was on TV, and then
I don't know. I'd still say it's 5 minutes because I mean,
I-
like even in the scenes,
I definitely have to say though that when they, in the episode before the last episode, when they like dropped off the suitcase, and we kind of all knew what it was. Like it was gonna be his new
Yeah.
suit. We all kind of knew, and I was like, okay, that's really cool. I can't wait for this big grand reveal of like this this really cool new suit and wings and like the new gadgets that come with it. But then all that happened in like the new episode was just like, hey, I'm here, and he just kind of like appears. There's no like really cool reveal of like the new suit like up close. We can't really see like what like.
And it's all in the dark.
Yeah, because like the Wakandans made it, and it just like they just make cool things, right? Like Captain America's new 2 shields that he had in Infinity War. I mean, I like those. I just like the spin that they took on it. So I was curious to see what the Wakandans did with the Falcon's wingsuit to make it look really cool in the new, and you know, because they're really high tech over there. So I thought they're gonna have like really cool gadgets that came with it and everything, but it wasn't. There was no gadgets or any. I didn't see, like. There's just no like cool missiles or like anything that came out of that. It was just kind of his old suit, but they didn't show it really well.
Cool? Going back to like the helicopter fight scene, when he dives through the helicopter and takes out the pilot.
Yeah.
Right, and then he's on the bridge and he pulls out his wings and the shield on top, and the helicopter is crashing to the bridge, and it kind of just like bounces off him and goes into the lake.
Okay, I saw that scene.
I was like, what the fuck?
And I was like, I don't believe it.
Like, I know his wings are made of vibranium because it came from Wakanda, but that he wouldn't have just bounced the helicopter off of him into the lake. The helicopter would have taken the Falcon with him, with the helicopter through the bridge, and would just like been way more destructive than that. It was just like,
I do think that helicopter scene was really cool though.
It was pretty cool.
Where he was like bouncing the shield off the helicopter, and then he finally hit it through, and then like dove in, took out the pilot, and then the other girl like jumped in. That was really freaking cool.
That was super sick.
That was an awesome scene right there. I'm not saying at all they didn't have any like that. There wasn't any cool like fight scenes in it, because there was really cool fight scenes with the wingsuit. I just wish it was a better reveal of the actual suit.
I'm very happy that like they still kept Red Wing as a kid, because Red Wing in the comics is an actual Falcon. It's just a bird, and it's like the bird does things. Yeah, no, it's just a legitimate bird. But in this one, it's a little robot thingy, and I was just like, oh, cool. It's kind of like, you know, he talks to it, and
it was pretty cool.
He had it since like movies ago, and he still keeps it. And then he had like the really tiny ones that go up. There was cool gadgets.
It kind of reminded me of Iron Man, that scene.
Yeah, because it's
kind of does. Yeah. It's like a mixture of Iron Man and Cap.
But I'm glad that that over time they slowly made it smaller and smaller. The jetpack part of it, they made it look closer to Falcon's actual suit. The one thing I did kind of want to see is that like one of Falcon's thing is like he'd throw like wings out, like little like shards of whatever out of his wings, like in the comics. I wanted to see that. I know Xavier doesn't care, but like I thought that would have been kind of cool.
That goes back on the the whole gadgets thing. Like, you know, they didn't really add any cool like gadgets like missiles or like you said like blades coming out of his wings and stuff like that.
Or
like
guns.
Yeah, or like
capacity.
I remember in Civil War in the very beginning where they're like attacking the hospital or something like that to take like a disease or something like that. It's like the very beginning of the movie. Anyways, Falcon like sits there and he's like getting shot, and he puts up his like wings as a shield behind him, and he goes on his arm and he's like able to like type in a couple of buttons, and it like locates the people, and it shoots rockets out, like heat-seeking rockets out, and like that's just cool. They didn't do any of that stuff.
I mean, I agree that maybe he uses gadgets, but he's the new Captain America. You know, like
he has to rely on his shield.
Yeah, well, he has to not just rely on his shield, but he has to be Captain America, right? I mean, he can't be Falcon anymore. He has to be this person. You know, now cool. You talk about guns and stuff, you know, but you talk about how John Walker just like murdered this person. Like that's wrong.
Yeah.
But how wrong is it if he just pulled out a gun on someone and just shot him?
But I mean,
right?
if he's fighting like
Captain America,
androids, aliens,
okay,
or wizards,
I understand that.
He's gonna need more than his fisted shield, right?
Yeah, which may incapacitate someone.
He's not a super soldier.
You can still kill someone with that shield.
I know, but like he needs more than just the shield.
I'm gonna be honest.
In a suit.
Backtracking, when he got the suitcase and Bucky gave him the suitcase, I thought it was just gonna be like a little like vial of super soldier serum in there, and that was it.
I mean, maybe there isn't there.
I don't know why.
So, speaking of him fighting, there's I don't even know the guy's name. The random French person who like he fights in the building.
Yeah.
Novich or something.
That fight lasted for way too long, and he was just like
really did.
It was just like
no reason.
I really wanted to see him like show up and be like, I've come to fight you, and he's just like, or like
what was the reason for him hating the Falcon?
because he kicked his ass in the first episode.
In the first episode?
Yeah, he's this stupid.
That's who he was? I completely forgot about him.
Yeah,
And, well, and that guy also was
Oh.
in the Winter Soldier at the beginning of it.
He was?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Who did- what-
Captain America goes onto like this like naval boat.
Oh, that's him.
Holy crap!
I knew it.
Is
I
it?
knew. Oh my
Really?
gosh.
Oh yeah, it's the scene.
I thought
where
he was just some random guy.
It's the scene where he takes off his helmet and he's just like in the beginning of Winter Soldier, he takes off his helmet and it's
And they're
one
like
of the
fighting
best,
hand to
Yeah,
hand.
it's one of the best scenes in Winter Soldier. Wow.
He's not one of the super soldiers, is he?
No.
No, he's just a guy who's
He's
really
just a
good
guy
at
with
fighting.
a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good at fighting. Can we also talk about how Sharon is the power broker?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that-
So
that-
I
that
wanted to get
got
to that
me,
at the
though.
end, but
Somebody
Nice.
called that and like,
Too bad.
oh, it was cool, but it was just kind of like they waited till the very end to tell you, but like you kind of already knew from what is it, like the third episode when she introduces herself and she's like, I have all this power, and you're just like, oh, just put the word broker in
It's like
front
she
of that
went from
sentence.
being like this like goody two shoes shield agent to being like this
Double agent now.
basically like double agent kind of like on like off the grid selling like really expensive art to people, living the high life in Portmere. What is the place called? Portmere?
I forgot.
I don't know.
I completely forgot the name. It's basically like Cyberpunk City.
pretty much.
Yeah.
But she was following Cap during that time, so she was technically on the most wanted list of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
So that's why she was in hiding. That's why the government was out to get her. That's why she's been like this.
Was
I will say, a lot of people said that they guessed that that she was the power broker by like episode 3, 4. I don't
Yeah.
know. And I didn't know till the very end where I was like, actually caught me off guard. But I wasn't actively thinking who is the power broker.
I thought it was that weird
'Cause I
lady
didn't
with
care.
the blue hair at the court martial.
Yeah, I really didn't care that much.
Yeah.
She was like talking
It'll just
with
be some random person.
Yeah, it could have been that lady. I didn't
Yeah.
care.
That's
They
what
just-
I thought it was.
They just
I was like, who the
mentioned
heck
that
is
name.
this lady?
well, so they bring her up, right? And that's kind of weird because she's what's the actress's name? She
I don't
showed
know.
up and I immediately thought
she's
Seinfeld.
in the show Veep.
Is she in Seinfeld?
Yeah, she's in Seinfeld. She's
She's not. I don't think she's the Seinfeld girl.
she is. I 100% guarantee it. Look it
What's
up.
the actor's name?
I don't remember her name. There's gonna be,
Seinfeld.
there's gonna be somebody.
Alright,
in that-
anyways,
Anyway, he's gonna look that up.
Anyway,
I'm gonna
they
look up Seinfeld.
they
Best
bring
Girl.
her up and she's like, they're like, you see on Snapchat the stupid like game rant or screen rant or whatever, and they're like, they have big plans for Seinfeld's whatever her name is, and you're like, woo, cool. Don't care. I mean, she's just a super minor
Julie
character.
Louis DeFrays or Dreyfus. Sorry if I mispronounced your name.
Do you want to show it?
she's listening right now.
I'll show it at this camera.
Yeah.
Oh,
To the oversaturated one.
If they give me a picture of her, Jesus.
Do you want Cam 4?
Oh, that lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Seinfeld lady. That's also the weird blue-haired lady in the Falcon Winter Soldier.
Well, anyway, she's the one who makes.
Does she have blue hair?
She does.
Kinda
It's like
navy blue.
She was in like one
Diamond
episode in the
Bond.
beginning, and then she kind of like died, and then I was like, oh, whatever, bye.
What?
Like, you
No,
can
she doesn't
Oh, yeah,
die.
we're talking about a different woman here.
You can
Yes.
call me Donna, but don't call me Donna. Just
It's
keep it in
the-
there.
Oh,
the woman
that
at the
one! I
end.
thought we were talking about the woman in that one weird cyberpunk place where they like met
No,
up
where
with
they-
her.
Oh, no.
where
And
she
then
gets
she's
killed,
like,
like,
their
the
agents
first-
killed them. Then she kind of just, I'm pretty sure
She
she
gets
died.
2
I
minutes of
don't know.
screen time, then she
Yeah.
gets killed
By
off.
the way, just to bring up that scene real quick, Sam, who has been on the run for years, who knows how to keep a secret identity, kept his phone on.
Rookie mistake.
Very nice.
I like how the whole phone call was just fine and dandy until
Said Sam.
his sister mentioned Cheetos, and the lady was like, "Cheetos, kill them!"
Well, it was so weird because you have these
I didn't say
three
Cheetos.
these three people who, for one, you've got Zemo who.
Zemo was awesome.
I
Zemo
like
was
this
really
character.
cool.
At first, I was like, Zemo, that's an evil character. But then as the episodes went on, I was like, okay, Zemo's kind of cool.
He's a cool character
cool.
because they gave him sort of like a hero arc and he helps them, but at the same time he doesn't, and then he gets arrested or whatever.
So, can we
But
talk about Zemo's philosophy real quick? Because his whole philosophy is that super soldiers shouldn't be allowed to exist because they will abuse their powers
Yeah.
and become supremacists, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the Red Skull. I forget what his actual name is. Schmidt? Yeah, Schmidt became...
Schmidt.
The Red Skull was a super soldier, and he was like the leader of Hydra. They were supremacists.
Yeah.
Right?
Everybody
I
got
think
cast.
they were kind of supremacists before that, though.
Yeah, because of
Yeah.
big
Everybody
Nazis.
except for
But-
Captain America, or everybody except for Steve.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And they even mentioned that they're like, well, Steve wasn't corrupt, and they were like,
He's like, yeah, but there's never been another Steve.
yeah.
Which is true. There hasn't. Like, I think nobody could ever be as pure and uncorruptible as Steve.
Yeah.
Well,
It depends on your
um,
perspective of things, though. I mean, because like he fought for what was right,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right, as far as what we viewed it as, and then he went up against the government, and then was on the run, and then John Walker essentially is doing the same thing, except the only difference is that we saw him kill, and we weren't like ready, I guess, for a new Captain America, right? And so ultimately, like, what is the difference, right? mean-
Well, if you kind of go back to like, if we go back again to Captain America: The First Avenger, where the scientist tells him, the super soldier serum, it enhances the person. So a good person becomes greater, and a bad person becomes worse, right? And even John's sidekick, I forget his name, Lamar, he says, the serum makes you more of yourself, right? So it's kind of echoing like what the scientist guy from Captain America was telling Steve, So,
I understand that, but it's like he still does almost the same thing, right?
yeah,
like
but
he's
in
defying
kind of
people.
different context, Captain America was more like a vigilante, if anything. He doesn't really like fight for the government. He only really
Fights
abides
for its
by the
right,
government. So long as it's the right thing to do. When it wasn't the right thing to do, he went against the government. But John was with the government even when it was kind of the wrong path to go down, And the only reason why he went against the government was because he cracked. And he made a
'cause
mistake.
they fired him, yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of the same thing, but it's not the same thing. Because if it was the same thing, they would technically be the same character, which they're not.
Right. The main thing that was kind of cool is they made, you could see it coming basically from when they first introduced him, is that he, at the end, spoilers, he becomes U.S. agent.
What
Which,
the fuck kind of name is that?
it's the
Is that
name.
an actual, like...
It's Wish Captain America.
It's
Wait, that's actually his name they gave him?
Yeah.
No,
that,
it's-
even in the comics, it's
U.S.
it's-
Special Agent?
US agent.
U.S. agent, yeah.
What a superhero name.
Wow.
Well, so I don't know a lot about his characters. I'm sure there's a lot of people in the comments talking about who he is. I don't
so
know
many
who
people
he
in
is.
those comments.
Lots of people.
There's a lot of people in those comments, at least 7.
At least one.
But
Hopefully.
they have him become U.S. agent, which I like his suit better than his
Especially
first
now
one.
at the end.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
The whole like blacked out look, and it's really cool.
Again, to be fair, he was also in the shade. They need to turn the fucking lights up
yeah, so
on this show.
every single shot is like underlit. Because you watch it, and not only does John Walker's suit look still blue and not changed at all, and you're like, oh, they got rid of the A. That's a cool change.
And he's
he
like,
just
it's
looks
black,
the,
and
he
you're
just
like,
looks
oh.
like the Snickers mascot. The white and red and dark.
Okay.
I don't know.
But it's just kind of one of the, it's like I'm not gonna even try that. But it was just kind of a really dumb show.
You thought it was dumb?
I don't know. I
I
feel like it
enjoyed
had,
the show. I'm not
it
gonna
had
say
its moments.
yeah, I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy the show. I did enjoy the show a lot, but it wasn't. I feel like they could have done a lot better.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like they could have done better with, like, let's say, like, WandaVision, but I felt like, to me, I could overlook a lot of the small little details of, and obviously it is a TV show, a little, like, hey, by the way, we're Marvel's still kicking.
Yeah.
And so I enjoyed it thoroughly, even with the minor stuff, even with the power broker nonsense. Like, again, it was something that I never was curious about, and then
Right.
they were like, by the way, it's Sharon Carter. I was like, okay. I don't know what that's supposed to mean for the rest of this,
Right.
but okay. And at
So
the end,
she's
she was
evil
like,
now, or?
I would assume.
She's
like,
betraying
'cause-
the U.S. government.
alright,
I guess.
She's just a bad
But
bitch.
I would prefer her more as a Zemo type villain than Zemo is. I don't care for Zemo. I don't care.
I like Zemo.
They're like, release the Zemo dance. I was like, that's the best part of Zemo that I've seen is the dance that he does. I don't know. And then other than that, I don't care. Like, and then he even like ruins their plan by shooting the one guy in the head. So I don't know. It feels like he's only done. Obviously, he's out for himself, right? He's selfish, but
he's
like
also
he just not.
Well, he's on his own agenda at the
Yeah,
same
he has his
time.
own
Why
agenda
else
to
would he
get
be
rid of all the
helping?
super soldiers.
Yeah, why else would he be helping them? You know.
I don't know. It just.
If you think about it, he kind of like used Bucky and Sam to kind of like be his like muscle, so he could get to his objective.
Well, yeah.
Kill Nagel. Because his ultimate objective is to wipe out all the super soldiers.
Yeah, he doesn't like them.
World without super soldiers is a better world in his eyes.
The main thing that I really liked about it is, if you don't know, Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie are like actually really good friends in real life. Sam and the actors who play as Sam and Bucky.
How do you know that?
Because you see him in interviews, or at least I think so. I see him in interviews all the time, and they're really good friends from what I can see. But it's really cool because in the first episode, it was really funny watching that interrogation scene where they just act like children, which actually that's improvised.
Yeah, that was improv.
Yeah, they just literally were just like, go act like children, and they did. That's actually them just act, and it's so great.
That's funny.
I ship them.
The bromance is real between them.
And there's also, if you watch closely, there's nods to, like the previous movies. There's the scene.
There are so many nods.
There is.
Can
There's
you move
the
your
scene,
seat up?
Plethora.
Yeah, I did like that. There's the scene where
That was funny.
where Carly throws a piece of rebar and Bucky catches it like Captain America catches the spear.
Oh
yeah.
In
I didn't even notice that.
In Infinity War, that was cool. There's also the scene where I think John Walker throws the shield and Bucky catches it.
Oh
like
yeah,
he did.
catches it.
He catches it with his non-metal hand.
Yes, which is cool.
That was my favorite scene from Winter Soldier. He just like turns back around. He's like,
It's just a lot of cool nods. I love Bucky's character, and I like Sam's character as well. They're just really good, and I wish I got to see more of them acting like children, because that was honestly my favorite part of the entire show. Is their friendship. But that's not what the whole show was about.
Can we talk about like how good of a frisbee player Steve would be?
Oh.
I'm just saying, bro. Like he
They're
pro-
all
like you know
pretty-
frisbee
I think they're
golf.
all
Like
pretty
he'd
good
probably
frisbee
be
players.
pretty freaking nasty at frisbee golf. I'm just saying.
That's the one thing that like everybody has pointed out, because they explain the whole like physics of how
It doesn't make sense.
It
of
does
how
not
works,
make
because
sense.
it's like it absorbs kinetic energy, which means that if it worked the real way that they describe, it just kind of hit a tree and then fall on the ground.
no, I think how it works is like there's no energy loss, you know? So
What?
it's like all the kinetic energy it has going forward, when it bounces back, it has that same kinetic energy.
Which
Yeah,
is impossible.
Well, which is impossible for one.
Yeah, it is
and,
impossible.
And two,
Wouldn't
like,
that mean it just like never stops bouncing?
Yeah,
but
essentially,
the other
if it's
thing.
not
How
losing
do they
any energy.
How do they always throw it at something, right? Whether it be
always
like
comes
a
back.
flat wall or like a curved like circular pillar,
A
and
tree.
it always comes straight back to them. Like
tree.
they hit at the wrong angle and they go flying somewhere else.
Sometimes the
Yeah.
shield like decides whether it's gonna bounce off or get stuck in it.
Yeah.
Well, it was cool because they had Captain America's little like magnetic things
Yeah.
that he had in
Yeah, that was
Age of
very cool.
Ultron.
Age of Ultron, which they then
I thought
just
that was
got
so cool.
rid of. But like, I thought it was cool because they were like, "Oh, he's just using the magnetic things to like pull it back," and that's how they explained it. Even though they just kind of disregarded the other two movies where he just ended up just being an incredible frisbee thrower.
All the other movies, he was using his mind to just like, control the trajectory in the vectors.
It's new Stark Tech. He kind of just put
Steve
an implant,
Rogers is
You just
so-
think and it comes back to you.
He can connect with the shield. They're just one together.
What I did find funny is how John Walker was like, "I'm gonna go make my own shield," which was just kind of funny because he just went to kind of like.
It's kind of poopy.
It reminded me of Steve when he went to go and like infiltrate the Hydra facility with like that little poopy stage shield.
Yeah, so I guess it's kind of, you have that similarity between the two. I just thought it funny imagining John Walker going to Hobby Lobby and trying to make his own shield.
Do a little arts and crafts project at home.
Yeah, but it was cool watching him in the ending scene because he has this sort of like rage to him, and then it like kind of cools down. For some reason, I guess he just cools down after he realizes that Carly isn't like the villain or whatever.
Well, I think he still recognizes her as the villain. It's just that there's things that are more important. And to even that's great. I find it funny him making the shield, and then it's supposed to be. It sounds like it's hyping up this next episode, this next big thing, and just immediately gets like dented in. And you're like, oh,
You
okay.
you see it at the end. It's all just.
Yeah, I kind of expect that to happen. But no, I think he still wanted to like fucking kill Carly. 'Cause
Yeah.
they were fighting. He was out for blood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they killed his best friend.
Yeah, he wanted to
He
kill.
was
that
he was angered and enraged, and he wanted to get justice.
I honestly thought in the scene where the bus is starting to fall, I thought that's where like, because there's been rumors where they said they're gonna kill off Bucky, and I thought they were just gonna let the car drop on him, and I was gonna be like,
That would be so dumb.
because that's what I was thinking. I was like, you have him in these movies, and then besides the two movies that were kind of dedicated to him, Winter Soldier and Civil War, he kind of had not a lot of screen time in the other movies. So then you have him in the show that's dedicated to him, and then you just kind of like, if it went the way that I thought it was, you just crush him with a bus.
Okay.
I liked how I keep forgetting his name. John
Walker?
John Walker.
How do you forget that name? It's such
I
a
don't know,
generic
it's such
name.
a generic
It's
name. I don't know. I guess I just don't like John Walker. But no, I liked how John Walker, even though after he was court-martialed, he still had the will to try to save those senators in the truck.
He was not. I don't think that was his intention. It was a last-minute thing.
He could just let it fall.
Well,
Yeah.
if the one lady
But
didn't
that's
walk
when-
up to him.
His intention was to kill and get rid of, get the perpetrators who basically killed his best friend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the moment, he was like, okay, this is more important. But beforehand, that wasn't his goal.
That wasn't his
No,
goal.
he didn't
No.
go there to save the senators. He went there
No.
to kill Carly.
Yeah.
But despite, he thought it was like, why am I getting court-martialed?
Yeah,
But
because
then-
he genuinely
then he-
thought he was doing
the
the
people
right
who
thing.
court-martialed him, he ended up saving. So it's like, he's not all that bad.
I mean, I didn't think he was bad at all, even when he killed the person, because I was like, ultimately, I feel like any one of us or any person out there would probably do the same.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the super serum probably heightened his emotions,
Yeah.
which made him go off of the edge.
Yeah,
So,
that makes sense.
Like, in that moment, I was like, all he sees is red right now. That's it. Like,
Yeah.
that guy, anyone who's running around, like, they're dead. Like, jumping out the window, hitting the bus. Like, he was, like, just, like, full-on sprinting. It looked like he was, like, jogging, too. He was like, all right. Like, going out for, like, a Sunday jog to kill these people. But I loved him the whole time. I wanted more screen time of John Walker. Like, I really did. And I want him in more movies. And I don't know why you guys don't like him, but he's one of the most entertaining people
wanted
to
us-
me.
The whole show wanted us not to like him. That was.
Oh, I
kind of the
loved
whole-
him.
I think
I
it
mean-
was more like you had to, because the entire time they juxtaposed it with other scenes that like made you kind of feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Not only in the scene of the courtroom, but like at the end he makes that one quote by Lincoln. What is it?
don't know.
Mercy is.
Dude, I
Mercy-
forgot it like 2 seconds after I saw him say it.
Yeah, well,
be
so
honest.
he says a cool quote. But it was
And he's
cool.
like working with them now.
Yeah.
But to be fair, he already wanted to work with him beforehand. That's what pissed me off, because I saw posts on Instagram or all these other posts of people talking about like, oh, he's being a dick, and I was like, well, Bucky and Sam are clearly not willing to work with him. He's like, hey, like, it'd be cool if you guys were on my team, and like saying to them, hey, I know I'm not Steve. I'm just trying to be Captain America. I'm just trying to be the symbol, right? I'm not trying to be your friend. I'm not trying to be them. I'm just trying to be me. I'm the best I can be. And them going like, all right, I'm getting out. And it annoyed me the way that they were acting, that this is their show and that they were just being rude nonstop to him. And then at the very end of, I think, episode 2, he was like, all right, then get him, like, stay out of my way. And everyone was like, see, look, he's being a dick. And I was like, what do you mean? You've been a dick to him the whole episode, right? Who knows how long that was, maybe like a day or two. Or just being straight up a dick. Like, he's just trying to help you out, bailed him out. And then proceeded to just, like...
But then did enrage everybody when, Falcon, like, he was like, all right, I'm retiring the shield. I'm going to give it to this museum. It's just going to be, like, on
That
display.
wasn't on him.
Huh?
I think
That wasn't on him, though.
I know, I'm not saying it was on him, but then it also just kind of, like, further enrages it. Like, even, like, the two characters discuss it, how they're mad that, the shield was given to him. And they just wanted it to be, like, retired and just done with. And, I mean, I don't think Bucky wanted to be retired, but... they just didn't want to go into him, and then the government's like, all right, we're gonna give this guy, we're gonna call him the new Captain America, and then here's Steve's old shield, and here you go, you're the new Captain America, and just make it like it's a new normal thing.
Ultimately,
Fill his shoes.
he was more well trained than anybody really could have been. That's what they even talked about, right? He had the requirements essentially, right,
Yeah.
to be the new Captain America, and it was to be a symbol. It was because people needed that hope after what just happened, right? And I felt like that was understandable. To a
Yeah,
degree.
but there's other superheroes to give that hope.
Yeah.
Is there?
Like you don't just have to have Captain America because it has the flag. Like that he doesn't have to be the only symbol of hope. Like there's other characters that can provide that hope for the the United States or like the world.
But none of them did.
What I always find funny about these is that they all happen in the same place. If I'm not mistaken, this happens in the whole last episode. It happens in New York, right?
I think so.
Or
Was
whatever
that where
whatever
it was?
part of New York City. What's funny is that you have all of these other characters. Like, where are they? Like, is Spider-Man just kind of like, nah?
Spider-Man's going to school, bro.
Well, yeah, at what, 9 o'clock? Like, he's
He in
constantly.
school.
You got those tests to study for.
He's still swinging over on his webs.
But
Don't worry, guys, I'm coming.
with us kind of talking about John Walker, the actor Wyatt Russell had the same issue as that one guy from 13 Reasons Why. He played a really good asshole,
Yeah, I know what you're talking
and
about.
then
Yeah.
he got hate mail for it and death threats, and
That's
then he
just
was
messed
just
up.
and he was just kind of like,
Why are you
Otherwise-
hating me for doing a good job?
Yeah, he was like, "I'm a good person. No, I'm not like that in real life. Like, why do you guys hate me? It's because of the character.
It's a
I mean,
show.
it is a show, but some people are like, I hate this person, but
If you hate me
it's because they
of
played
the
the character so
character.
well.
Then I'm doing a good job. Please stop sending me death threats, please.
well, because if you didn't know, his last name's Russell, which means he's the son of Kurt Russell, the person who plays as the dad
Oh,
from
yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Or
Everyone hated him too.
Right. They both played as villains, but they're also extremely good actors in their own respects.
Well, John Walker's not a villain, but
He's
He's kind of an anti-hero, I'd say.
he's like Deadpool or
no, because Deadpool is likable.
I like John Walker.
Yeah, this man.
what are you
likes John
saying? You don't
Walker.
like Deadpool?
I like Deadpool. Watched it recently.
That'd be
But I don't know. Well, all right. So just going back as far as the symbol, though, I mean, like, who can be? No, Captain America clearly has been a symbol. He has been, and no one else really is, right? They can provide hope, but that he is the symbol, though. He was kind of like, essentially, the leader in a way to the Avengers.
Yeah, but everyone put the pressure on him.
Who else?
I'm not disagreeing that. I'm just saying that no one else is gonna.
Who else, in your opinion, Vicky,
Yeah.
would be the symbol?
I don't know. I feel like anyone could be. Like, if anyone wanted to be like, hey, listen, we are here. We are for you guys. We want to be that symbol of hope. Anyone can do it. It just doesn't have to be like one person like Steve was.
Yeah, but no one.
But
I
they
feel like
obviously,
has.
obviously everyone was like, hey, Steve is the number one person that we need. He is the right idea. He knows what's right. He knows what needs to be done. And I guess that's why they chose him to be the symbol for hope. But I don't know. I feel like they put too much pressure on him.
Because Vision's dead, right? Or, well, whatever's going with
Vision's
that.
gone.
maybe.
But Wanda's, like, gone crazy. Hulk has one arm now.
Oh,
His
yeah.
gimp arm. You know,
Is
and
his arm, like,
no, his arm's like kind of coming back. It's not gone, but it's
he was
we
using,
don't know.
He was using it in the fight at Endgame.
Mm.
Kind of.
oh, he's running around with it.
I'd imagine it would hurt, like, a
with
lot.
sling.
Yeah, he has a sling on. But then there's, like, Ant-Man. You know, there's these people who, like, clearly wouldn't be a symbol. You know,
Yeah,
there's
I
Captain
guess
Marvel
the only-
who's, like...
I guess the only real choice
Yeah,
was
Marvel's
Captain
kinda like
America.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sure, and again, there's, like, Winter Soldier, but, like, how much are you gonna... If
But
any
he
information
literally
like,
was
leaked out
murdering.
about that... Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he literally murdered people his whole life.
So, clearly Captain America is, like, the only symbol, right?
And I think everybody expected Sam to,
Obviously,
fulfill
that's what
that
the
role,
show is about.
but then he retired the shield.
Yeah.
You know,
Again, though, now that Sam is going to be Captain America, they're going to place all that pressure on him as well.
Of course.
But I feel like he has the, will to uphold that.
And that's what he talked about,
Power.
too. Not only is it just, like, being Captain America, but it's being black and Captain America. Especially in whether it be our society or their society. I assume it's very similar. And taking on that role. And so there was a lot of pressure, even just on John Walker, who clearly snapped, right?
Yeah, no, he couldn't handle it.
couldn't hack it.
Already, like, was getting devastated that he was losing every battle, right? Against these, other superpowered individuals or even just, like
Nina
the...
Milage.
But then
Yeah.
again, you can't get like mad at that because they're like superhuman. They're not normal. Like
Yeah, but-
he's a normal person. He doesn't have like all
the
that
Milage
strength.
aren't superhuman.
Yeah, they're
just
not.
like normal people from Wakanda. kicked his
Yeah.
ass. And he's like, they weren't even super soldiers. He was devastated
Yeah.
by that. He got his ass whooped.
I felt so bad for the character at that point.
Yeah.
Sam was like,
and
you
there's-
don't
He
want
kind of had it coming.
You don't want
He
to pick
was
a fight
like-
with the demologist.
He was
You're
picking
like,
a
Yeah, he
fight
was
with
picking a
them.
fight.
Because he was like, why are you here? First off, to be fair, why is he here? Because he is Captain America, so like he shouldn't be there either. But even to that degree, I don't feel like it was necessarily starting a fight. It just sounded like he didn't really know who they were, and then they were like, all right, let's kick his ass. Like, let's show him who we are. It was like,
I mean, I thought it was funny.
I mean, yes, I don't disagree. It was a good scene.
I feel like I want to go back to talking about the three, like John Walker, Sam, and Bucky, because I think their whole dynamic is interesting, because they all hold resentment for one another, all three of them. Sam and Bucky don't like each other, and then the two of them really don't like John Walker. For all different reasons. That's why they treat him like an asshole and they don't work together.
It's
But
because
it's
they
not
didn't want to
on-
accept him being the new Captain
Yeah.
America. That's probably they still
That-
probably were like, no, we don't want this person to be like the symbol. We don't want to be friends with him
Yeah,
because
it's
he's
also
not
'cause, like,
Steve.
You know,
And that's where they were like, we don't like you. You're not Steve.
He wasn't even
also,
asking to be
Sam,
friends,
Sam and
though.
Bucky,
Yeah, I know.
like they said it themselves. They're free agents, so like they kind of do whatever the fuck they
And
want.
that's also
And
kind
then,
of why.
That's the only
John
part that I
Walker's-
understood, though.
John Walker's more just like a government boy.
He has to,
Yeah.
regulations that he has to follow with, them being free agent Bucky and
he
Sam.
goes wherever the government sends him.
Yeah.
Right.
That was the only part that I understand of the argument of like not wanting to work with them. Otherwise, I would like you don't have to be a dick to John Walker. That's what I thought, right? And I
What?
feel like them being rude and being over obnoxious to him the whole time, I felt like encouraged him to not trust them,
But I
to
think it's,
to just snap.
if you remember, like when in the scene where they're in the car, he's like, "I'm not trying to be Steve Rogers. I'm just trying to be the best Captain America guy I can be."
Mm.
And then he kind of just like put his convictions on the table right in front of Sam. He's like, "It would really help if I had his sidekick at my side." Is like basically saying, "I could do my job a lot better if you were like my right hand man," basically.
Yes,
You know.
he's not wrong.
And Sam was like, "I'm not. Fuck that. I'm not gonna be your sidekick." So,
Which is
I
kind
mean,
of a dick
It makes
thing.
sense why he wouldn't want to work with John after hearing that.
It's also kind of a dick thing to say, considering his friend is technically his like right hand man, and he's just like, nah, I don't need him. I'll go with the other option.
I didn't think any of this at all because I just felt like it was more like not even necessarily like I want you to be my sidekick. It just kind of presented itself as more like I need help. I need the people, not even in this situation, but just in general,
Who know
like
how to do this?
well, again, not the situation or not even like what they were dealing with the border crushers, the whatever the world
Flag
Well,
smashers.
flag
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 smashers.
smashers.
Yeah, whatever. My God, I don't care about any of them.
Bull crushers.
But just in general, like the general acceptance of him being the new Captain America, as if they had him on, if he had him on their side, that way he'd be like, you know what, this guy's not that bad, right? Comparatively, and I feel like they kept taking it the wrong way, and obviously maybe he could have said it better. There were ways, but I feel like he was being genuine. He was trying to be nice. He bailed him out. He was trying to do all this, and still ended up by, and there's the one scene where they're like, wait, give him 10 minutes, right? Give him 10 minutes to talk to the one girl.
Oh my God, I hated that scene.
God, I can't.
But at that point, he couldn't.
Bro, he
trust them.
literally was like, no, I have to step in and be the bigger person. I was like, no, what the heck? It was working.
I understand that. You
Yeah.
understand that. And they understand that clearly, right? But like John Walker doesn't know it's working. If you put yourself into his shoes, if you're sitting in this room in silence for like 10 minutes, not even, right?
Yeah, he didn't even
do you
give him the
think-
full time, though.
And then, but like clearly not trusting them at this point. Like, and so I don't discourage that completely because, I mean, I get it. You've proven yourself to not be trustworthy to this person. And at this point, he doesn't want to work with you.
Right.
So, I don't know. So, I feel like we're placing all this on, like, the character, obviously, not, the actor. And then to find out that we do a lot of these similar things in our own daily lives, right? Someone pissed us off several times, and then we're like, all right, well, I'm going to stop working with you at the work or school or whatever it might be. In just the real world, I don't know.
So to conclude,
Well, no, hold on. To conclude,
I think it's
real
way to
quick,
conclude.
there was a question that was presented. I wanted to cover this real quick.
Okay.
John Walker was talking to Battlestar. You said his name, but I don't.
Lamar.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you would take the super soldier serum, would you? Would you guys?
Would I?
I
Yeah, I want to be
No.
stronger.
Okay, honestly, before watching Falcon and Winter Soldier, totally would, right? But I kind of agree with Zemo. So after watching the show, no, I wouldn't take it.
So that begs the question: what if you gave every single person in the world it?
No.
'Cause
No.
No,
For
because
sure
that
no.
means
Don't
that's
do
just
that
that.
would make you
that's
not
just
special.
playing God, then. It's like, this is humanity's evolution. Everyone take the super soldier serum, and then we're all basically just like, we're Krypton
Yeah,
2.0.
but like now we're just on the same level.
But
Because
then
that would not
murderers-
be fun. I would just like
murderers
to f
become
with
super
people.
murderers.
Yeah, and
That's true, yeah.
ordinary people become super ordinary people.
Super 9-to-5 cubicle job worker.
now instead of like carrying like a Glock, you'll be carrying like an anti-material rifle, because that's what you need to like put down a guy now.
No, not even, because like literally in the
Yeah,
ending,
they almost
spoilers.
killed- yeah.
No, they kill her. They just shoot her with
Yeah,
a regular
it's really
gun,
not
and
that.
she dies. And it's
That's
like,
another thing that doesn't make sense. Like, these people are super strong now, but their skin is still that of like a paper mache airplane.
right, and then they just get shot with one bullet.
Gets
They-
out with one bullet, like a hollow tip, completely wrecks them.
Right. But so to conclude, at the end, you have Sam take on the mantle, and he goes in, and then at the end he saves them, and they're like, "We're gonna do with these terrorists," and he has this whole speech, which is a really cool, motivating speech. Unfortunately, he hasn't, and I feel like a lot of people wanted there to be more action. But the good thing is that even if you wanted action, the speech is like kind of, it has a deeper meaning. Not going to go into that, but it's.
You can go to the speech. I mean, like, he literally talked about to the guy, like, he's like, what do you want us to do? And then he's like, do better. And you're like, okay,
Yeah.
but you don't understand what we have to do.
Right.
And it's like, just do better. And you're like, great, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I
Thank you
like
for
the
your
speech.
input.
Thank
I
you.
really like Sam's speech at the end.
Rook,
Can we talk about that?
hold on. No, are you taking the super soldier serum? Oh my god, I can't speak.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I would.
Yes.
I would too.
There you go. So
All
you're
you
out.
need
Wait,
to
would
die.
you? Would
Of
you take
course.
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
No doubt about it.
Supremacist.
Let's get into our ratings, because I don't want to talk about that speech. Just
Okay.
let's
No, that was all I had to say about it.
okay.
I just wanted to mention right before we do the rating. I cried at the part where Sam took
You
Isaiah.
cried?
Yeah, I cried because I'm a little baby bitch.
At what part?
At the part where he took Isaiah to the Captain America memorial, and there was a statue
Oh,
of
that was
Isaiah.
very-
that
that
was
was-
just, that was so sweet.
No, I did.
Yes, that was very
I
touching.
thought it was a good scene
Yeah.
too.
He went through all that bullshit for 30 years, and there's a memorial like celebrating Isaiah's achievements.
Yeah.
So he's
And
not forgotten.
I think that was very
Him
touching.
shaking Sam's hand and hugging him and getting all teary made me cry like a little baby bitch.
Well, I
I'm
feel
sorry.
It's a good end to Isaiah's story. Like you obviously have all the bullshit, but like mixed with his speech, it's a fairly good.
It was
end
a very
to
touching.
show.
It was a very touching scene.
It's a lot better than the end of
The acting in this show was incredible, in my opinion.
I did like it.
So
yeah.
we're getting the ratings now.
I just feel like another thing. I just feel like at the end of each episode, I wasn't as like shocked as I was for WandaVision, because WandaVision, I like after like whether like they cut it for like the end of the episode, I literally was like, oh my god, what the frick is happening? Like I was on the edge of my seat, like
Constant cliffhangers.
I was like
Right.
flabbergasted. But for Falcon and Winter Soldier, it just ended, and I was like confused. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What?
What do you mean? It ended on a couple cliffhangers.
I mean, a
like,
few of them, but
the
like
first
not all of
episode, how they
them.
It wasn't the
introduced
same
the new
degree.
Captain America, and then when he killed the guy, they were like,
That
everybody
wasn't
like,
a
started taking
cliffhanger,
pictures.
though.
Yeah, it was. Everybody started taking pictures. He's like looking around, and they're like, oh dang.
But
And
it
then
wasn't like,
ends, you're
oh no, what's gonna
No,
happen?
yeah,
Yeah,
it
it is.
wasn't-
Oh no, what's gonna happen? I was like, what's gonna happen?
Why
Tony?
does
How
I was
can I
just-
recover
everybody-
from this?
Why does everybody like John Walker? Like in the show, canon, why is everybody in existence like John Walker? Just like immediately.
I don't know if that's accurate though.
Yeah,
we
I
don't
don't know.
see that
It's like
from the
literally
people.
everybody's like asking for his autograph everywhere he
Yeah,
goes.
everyone was like so excited about it. I feel like there should have been like more shots of people being like, "I miss Steve." Or,
I
mean,
will
the-
never be as good as Steve or something like that. I don't know.
All right, Nick, what is your rating of this movie or show?
Good character
not movie?
development, good acting, good action. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
I'm being very generous.
I'm gonna give it like a 7 out of 10. I thought the action scenes were really good, like the ones that they did have, and I really did like the story, but I really wish they just had more cool like gadgetry with the actual like new suits, and maybe even like I hate how they rush in the very last episode, how they just kind of like rush everything to a conclusion. I don't know. I feel like they could have like drawn
That's
out like
fair.
the fighting for maybe even one previous episode. They could have just drawn out the fighting like a lot more throughout that. But I give it a solid 7 out of 10.
Vicky?
It was a pretty good show. I mean, for the development of new characters like the new Captain America and putting a new character development for Bucky as well, and having everyone grow and putting this new, kind of, I don't know, storyline into perspective. I think they did a good job there, but there were a few things I was just, it did feel kind of rushed in that sense, but I think I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
I think myself, I'm gonna give it probably 14 dented shields out of 9 Zemos.
All right, what's the conversion ratio to
I
that?
mean, it's you're up.
That's an improper
What's a
fraction.
dented shield converted to? What was the other thing you said?
It was 9 Zemos.
9 Zemos?
Yeah.
Well, Zemos are pretty cool, so...
Interesting.
Yeah, I
Dented
mean, you gotta
shields-
kind of figure that one
I think
out.
dented shields compared to Zemos are
So
pretty,
7?
pretty low.
I don't know. I thought it was a really good show.
I think
If we're
that could
gonna
be
give a
like
real rating, then I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
140
But I'm gonna
dented
stick with my
shields.
Zemos. So
140 shields out of
Dented
9
shields.
Zemos.
I will say, if I'm comparing it to WandaVision, just because that's my baseline, because it's the only other Marvel show you have.
yeah,
Well, Luke Cage.
It was a very good development of characters. It had some very memorable scenes. It had callbacks to other famous scenes, and it had some really good tension. But due to it being a little bit rushed, I will give it maybe a 7.5, 8, maybe. It wasn't perfect, but I will say for a TV show that's developed by people who usually make movies, an 8.5, 8 is probably good.
I don't know. I
Then
feel like
again-
this show is so
What's it-
rewatchable. I feel like WandaVision isn't.
Yeah, but I feel like this show
That's
is just
true.
a buffer for the next movie, like a next introduction.
Right.
So
I
I
think
feel like
Loki.
they did good
Oh,
in
I
that sense that it's a
cannot wait for
buffer.
that. Loki is my favorite villain in the MCU.
If
I
I
can't
do-
wait for that.
I would totally like a Winter Soldier solo movie
Yes.
because I really like Bucky's character.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. Well,
Captain America, Winter Soldier.
That wasn't
The Winter
a
Soldier.
solo movie though.
Well, it was Captain America.
I still feel
There
bad
needs to be-
because
there just needs to be the Winter Soldier.
because I still feel bad because no
Of
matter
him doing what?
what,
Getting his ass whooped?
yeah,
He's not gonna
because
get his ass whipped though, because he's not gonna be the side character. He's
I
gonna
feel
be
like he's
main
the
character.
wimpiest of the super soldiers though, because he keeps getting flung around.
yeah, not in Winter Soldier
Well-
though. In Winter Soldier, you have a lot of really cool scenes of him doing. Anyway, if I am gonna compare it to anything else that Disney Plus has as far as live action, would be Mandalorian, which first season was incredible, second season was, in my opinion, meh.
No, I thought the second season was fucking incredible.
Anyway, if you compare it to that, I would say that Mandalorian did a lot better job, but you also have to remember they're going off of Star Wars, not Marvel, which Star Wars is a lot bigger of a universe rather than Marvel.
It's true.
So, in the end of the day, 8.5 out of 10.
All right.
Alrighty.
CMOs.
So
Do we know the average of all
Round
our
it up.
scores?
you gave
I don't know.
7. I gave 9. You gave 8.5. You gave
9.
He
You
said
gave it
9.
you
out
gave
of 10.
9. You gave
8.
8.
I'm gonna do the math right here. You just-
You
Let's
know,
just say it was 8.5.
this is what we have an
Let's say-
editor for. You
Let's
know,
say 8.5. Yeah.
this is
Yeah,
what we
yeah,
have
we'll tell you
our
the
wonderful
number,
editor
but
for. He'll put
I
this
have to
up on the
find least
screen.
common denominator and go in.
It's not that complicated. Just add them all
I'm
up
gonna
and divide them by
math movements.
5.
I'm gonna go right here and
Very cool.
there's
There it
right
is.
right in
You guys
Vicky's
see it.
hand.
It's on my.
There's
right,
a number.
right
Wait.
here.
Can you Photoshop
All the
Xavier's face in my
applesauce
hand?
galore.
Right here. Wait, let me put it right here. Okay, that's it.
Why?
All right, thank you everybody for watching. And we'll see you in the next episode. Peace out.
Bye bye.